And here he is, bedeviled and bedraggled, drowned but not out, the man, the myth, the legend, the non-mutant superhero!
Do villains find me this annoyingly talkative? Don't answer. Alright, ugly McEvilstein. You're about to get canceled.
And cut! That's a wrap! Great show, everybody, great show. Here you go, kid, you earned it.
Thanks.
Hey, fair is fair, right? BTW. What's the big deal with that thing, anywho?
Well, it's a long story. Basically, it gives bad guys extra superpowers, so I have to... Wait a sec. This is a prop.
Oh, candy bar! Gonna get a candy bar! Snap, crackle, chop! I love this! Finally, someone to laugh at my jokes! Hey, what's green and makes noise? What? The Incredible Honk!
Yeah, it's not his best work. I'll give his detractors that. So let's take a look at the Web of Destiny. Ooh, did I not get these challenges? What the... Oh no, there's that one. Did I got 85 spider emblems? Well, that's embarrassing. I'm probably gonna get that one off camera, just cause, like... I'm just gonna do that. It'll be fine. Don't worry about that. If you're not dumb, you just won't, like, speed through the level. Like, I've had some pretty miserable times on this level because I let myself get lost. So I was focusing a little bit hard on not doing that this time. And apparently I didn't get all the spider emblems like a chump. So the key to the staying dry challenge, the one I just did, I had a lot of trouble with it initially because I was trying to, you know, there's a time limit of 1 minute. And it's, you know, it's a reasonably difficult challenge. The trick is, I thought that you would want to hold down the A button while swinging because it makes you go faster, but like you really don't want to do that because it makes it really awkward and sometimes difficult to like dismount and get into the next swing, which actually ultimately slows you down if you have to swing multiple times in a row. And as you saw, you kind of have to swing several times to get across that pipeline. So really all you want to do is just like swing and like once you're at the top of the swing, release and start another swing and just do it as quickly as possible with, you know, in as straight a path as possible and try and dismount from your last swing as high as you can when you reach those walls, because if you don't get to the top of the wall before those waves hit, it like comes through the grating and like can make you lose. You know, like when you touch water, you instantly die, because apparently that's just a thing about Spider-Man. Anyway, we got one more challenge that I can do, and, you know, it pertains to this final boss fight, and hopefully I will do it well enough to redeem myself for that embarrassing showing of just not getting spider emblems. Derp. So the way this works is he just cloned himself twice. You saw it happen. So, this challenge dictates an order for you to defeat the 3 clones in, because each one of them essentially has 1/3 of his total health bar. So you want to defeat the guy using guns, the guy using swords, and then finally, save for last, the guy with the grenades. It's pretty straightforward, but I like it a lot because it gives you a plan of attack in a fight where otherwise you might just like go around wailing on whoever was closest.
Gun fu.
Uh-oh, it's time for this mode. So the trick is, at 2 points throughout this boss fight... I don't have spider sense on. That's dumb of me. So like, every time you defeat one of the clones, this will happen. Where I guess every time you do 1/3 of his health bar. But if you focus all of your attacks on one clone, it will work the same way. There's 2 ways that you can sort of go about doing that easily, avoiding all of the explosions from those falling bot bags. One is to climb up on the fences, but like eventually all the fans who are watching will shake the fence and knock you loose. So the other way to do it is to just do the high jump thing that I was doing. It's a little bit more reliable, but it's also a little bit more annoying. So, you know, choose your own strategy. You could also just try and like stay away from the bot bags on the ground, and it's possible to do it. It's what I did in my first playthrough, but to me it seems more annoying. Back to the bot bags! I mean, yeah, like, they fall in these patterns, so, like, you can sort of just, like, get away from them. But personally, for my money, it's easier to just stay airborne for a little while. Especially, like, the last one? I think it's probably this one that's coming up now. Like, they're just everywhere. So, like, it's fairly hard to avoid that. Alright, so we're down to one final Deadpool. So, like, this last boss fight isn't that challenging. Honestly, his first one's more difficult. Similar to the way Scorpion's first boss fight is way harder than the last one. Ooh, Jiminy Christmas. But yeah, I still find this fun. There's something about the way that they just sort of suggest, like, a style of fighting for this last one. I really enjoy that. I like it. It's sort of adding a layer of depth to the boss fight, like the puzzle bosses do, only without having to go all in on, like, the gimmicky aspect of it. Like, this is pretty much a normal boss fight. It's not like, oh, you have to, like, sneak up on him and, like, do a stealth takedown. Which, I don't know, that felt really gimmicky. It didn't really feel like a boss fight. But yeah, I don't know, it's pretty straightforward. And fun. I don't know, I like this level a ton.
After these messages.
Another successful mission. You get a high rating for that one.
Aren't they all? Just one thing. How do I get home?
Alright. 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 So, I didn't do a very good job on time, but I apparently still managed to make gold. And, yeah, I made a mess of that emblem collection thing. That's just ridiculous. I don't know how I did that. But, yeah, have a good laugh at me for that. But, I'm gonna call this, this is an episode. It's a wrap on, Deadpool. It's definitely my favorite level in the game. Like, it's just... it's hard for me to describe, really, why I enjoy this level so much more than the others. Like, I think a big part of it is that it's just a much more, like, expansive area to play around in. Like, a lot of these other levels, especially the noir ones, just feel, like, cramped and, like, you know, like... It's Spider-Man, you know? Like, you're supposed to be able to, like, swing around and, like, he was always sort of the most maneuverable of superheroes, you know? His shtick isn't, like, just go in and clobber people. He was always, like, dodging and, like, making people... He's, like, tricking people into going where, like, he wants them to go. It just feels more like Spider-Man, I guess. Like, I enjoy the gameplay in the other levels. Well, most of the other levels, with some notable exceptions that you're probably well aware of at this point. But it just feels more like Spider-Man. It's fun to have that much area to play around in. And, like, even though I still had problems with this level, like, I find that, like, water pipeline section kind of annoying. But it's not as hard as I make it out to be. Like, it's really not that difficult. You just take my advice from all the hindsight I have playing through it multiple times, and you should be able to take it on really easily. And, like, you know, I can get lost and, like, lose a bunch of time, and, like, I don't know, like, the challenges just seem organic to the level. Like, you don't have to go out of your way to do them, but there's still things that you have to try to do. So they're still challenging in the sense that there's something you have to work towards accomplishing, but they're not challenging in the sense that, like, you only have 1 minute to beat Scorpion for some reason, or, like, you have to find a helmet in a tornado made of sand. Like, that challenge is just a pain. I hate that challenge. Like, it's not fun. Like, it's not consistent. Like, if you try really hard and practice at it, you don't get better at it. Like, if you had a hard time, like, tricking enemies into, like, doing the bot bags or, like, making the hammer guys hit other enemies, you could practice and get better at it. So I like that. Like, this level just seems to reward you for playing this game in a way that levels like Vulture just, like, they like, punish you for playing the game. So I think this is a really fun level. I really recommend it. I'm curious to see if other people enjoy it as much as I did. Hopefully I didn't talk over too many of the funny quips, because I do, for the most part, find Deadpool's sense of humor funny. And I think it adds to my entertainment level with the level. But yeah, I think I've said my piece about this. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you did, why don't you like the video or subscribe so that you can get more? Also, feel free to comment, telling me what you like best and how you felt or thought about Deadpool. I'm sure there was some grammar in there somewhere. I'll leave you to find it, though. And if you didn't like this level so much, why don't you leave a comment telling me how I might improve in the future, because that will be helpful for me to make videos that you enjoy. Yeah, so, with that, actually, there's one more order of business. If you're keeping track at home, we've just beaten the last level of Act 2. And as with Act 1, there's a cutscene. So, we're gonna watch that, and then I'm gonna leave you be. And, I'll see you next time.
So far, so good. Our web-slingers have triumphed over unbelievable odds. But there are still more pieces of that terrifying tablet out there. And something tells me the worst is yet to come.
And voila!
Excellent work, Spider-Man.
Who says good help is hard to find? Now just one more fragment to go, and look out!
The rest of the tablet will be mine. It must be mine.
You again? Why don't you go saw a lady in half or something? Hey! That was no illusion.
You've underestimated me for the last time, Spider-Man. And this old crone will pay for your insolence! Recover the rest of the tablet for me, or this will be the last you see of her.
Ah!
Stop! I'll do it. Just don't hurt her, okay?
Hurry, Spider. The clock's ticking.
Do have to say, I'm a little confused, because Madam Web is sort of like a interdimensional Watcher type character, isn't she? Like, even if she has a physical presence here, shouldn't she be able to, like, disappear to some much safer place relatively quickly? Anyway, as I said, we've completed Deadpool. I don't know why I didn't get enough spider emblems, it's just dumb. But, yeah, I'll do that off camera, because it's a level I don't mind replaying. And, I don't know, we could use the spider points to buy some combos or some upgrades or something. Something nice for you guys. And, I guess next time we'll be taking on this mysterious giant silhouette with Neil Patrick Harris's Amazing Spider-Man in Act 3 of Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. See you next time, guys. Have a good one.